Damn, dude. Like, where do I start? What's up, guys? Derek, moreplaysmarteats.com. Today we are going to be checking out Mike O'Hearn's pre-workout. It was sent to me by a few people, and notably this was screenshotted and gives a good summarization of what you can expect. Mike O'Hearn, I am not a huge fan of pre-workouts that contain huge amounts of caffeine and stimulants. I don't like that stimmed out feeling. They just have a negative effect on my workouts. So notably, your metabolism of stimulants becomes less efficient as you get older. So caffeine and other stimulants are going to hit you harder and harder. So if you're ever wondering why, well, obviously tolerance plays a big impact on it, but there are a lot of individuals I know personally who, when they were in their 20s, they could slam the fuck out of energy drinks, out of pre-workouts, and now in their later 30s or their 40s, they can't even handle half the shit they used to. And that is, literally just drug metabolism. So I don't know if he's always been like that or if that's just because he's in his 50s now, but it's worth noting nonetheless that it's an interesting factoid that tolerance seems to, or metabolism, I should say, seems to, slow down as you get older. When it comes to and obviously there's, genetic differences already off the bat in terms of how fast you can clear this stuff out of your system. There are actual genetic polymorphisms you can check during your genetic analysis, with 23andMe, whatever it is, in order to see if you're a fast or a slow metabolizer of caffeine. Interesting nuggets of information for optimizing your sleep protocol. But anyways, when it comes to training, I like to focus on increasing blood flow into the muscle and getting that pumped feeling. So presumably this is mainly focused on the pump ingredients. This is why I created Pump Formula, all caps. There's two main ingredients that will help push nutrients and oxygen into the working muscles to help them grow and also give them that full look. All right, tap the link below to get yours. So anyways, we are going to check out his stuff here. Let's see, Instagram. What the fuck? I guess I'm banned from his Instagram, so I will have to cut around and log into. I'm not even fucking logged into the Gorilla Mind Instagram on my desktop, so I'm gonna have to go into my phone. By the way, it's not me who runs the Gorilla Mind Instagram, but I do get access to it, and I jump into it once in a while to see certain shit. Like having to go to Mike O'Hearn's page. I'll pop in, but other than that, it is not me replying in the comment section from the Gorilla Mind page. I know a lot of people think it is. It's not. But anyways. Let us get into Instagram here. All right, here we are in the Instagram. Mike O'Hearn Titan Challenge 3. TC3 is live now. The link is below. Also, I help you on nutrition, supplementation, training plan. Text me at, Dude, these text me things are fucking... I can't stand the texting things because it's like, unless it's literally you on the other end replying, don't imply that it fucking is. And we all know it's not. So, unless he somehow has a ridiculous amount of time, which makes no logical sense given this guy's, size in the industry, how much shit he has going on. There's no fucking way he's sitting on a phone answering your supplementation and diet questions. But he will make you think he is. And it's a stupid strategy. So anyways, doesn't look like there's a whole lot about the supplements here. Here we go. Titans Vegan Gains. That's, I wonder if Vegan Gains has trademarked that yet. That would be interesting. Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, here we go. I've teamed up with Vitamin Shop, introducing the Titan series by Mike O'Hearn. These signature sports supplements are sourced from high-quality, clinically tested ingredients with no filler to support pre, intra, and post-workout performance. The reason I laugh is because it's we already know there's going to be fucking filler in it. That's part of the way they make this shit, You're saying there's going to be no sweeteners, no fucking anything in here. There's going to be no filler ingredients in the non-active section. We shall see, bro. To support pre, intra, and post-workout performance. Experience Pump Formula to promote increased muscle definition, muscle and joint fix for serious bodybuilders, and more. All right, I think, that wasn't that long ago that he launched this, so I guess if there hasn't been anything really posted since then we can just jump straight into the But this guy still looks fucking insane. He's like in his 50s. It's like absolutely mind-boggling how much like he looks like literally the same as he did years ago, like decades ago. It's wild. So anyways, let's jump to the desktop here and go to boom, titanseries.com. Here we are on the pump formula. Titan approved Mike O'Hearn pump formula, maximum vasodilation and extreme cellular volumization, cotton candy flavor, natural and artificial flavors. All right, let's see how many no fillers there are. Natural artificial flavors, citric acid, silica, sucralose, acesulfame K, and maltodextrin. So, okay, bro. Mike O'Hearn pump formula, caffeine free. One of the flavors is natty juice. That's funny. Just playing off of the people who call him out. I wonder how many people are blocked. Like, this guy must have the longest fucking block list ever if it's literally every single guy who calls him out for being a fake natty, just like blocking people all day. Must be a fucking task in itself. Probably gotta, there's probably no way he's texting. He's probably on his phone too busy blocking people, I would imagine, from all the people calling him out. So anyways, 30 servings for $33.99, pretty cheap price. So let's get into it. Let's see some of the factoids here first. One of a kind, delivers big time results. If you want big arms and legs like the Titan himself, you need to grab a scoop of pump formula. These kind of like claims come across as so salesy to me. It's really hard for me to get, even if it was like a good dose pre-workout, it's like hard for me to get on board with the shit. Like I would never take, I don't know, like a massive bodybuilder and be like, look at this guy's 21-inch arm. Like, do you want to get an arm like that? Take our protein, take our fucking EAAs. Like, it's just misleading, Like, it's like people know most people, okay, maybe the people who are selling to you don't know, but I mean, most people in the fitness industry know that it's just like, a fluff claim and it's just, for marketing hype. But like, still, it comes across as like, like fucking 1990s, 2000 marketing, It's like, what am I reading, a fucking Celtec ad from 2001? Filled with nitric oxide, boosting ingredients, and an anti-estrogenic blend, the ingredients in pump formula may help to increase lean muscle size and volume and growth. Why the fuck did I about to say volume? So anyways, the thing I find interesting is how it has an anti-estrogenic blend. Like, why? Like what's the purpose? Like, estrogen literally facilitates vasodilation. That is one of the main reasons why you don't want to indiscriminately inhibit aromatase when you're on anabolics or just in general. And that's why, I advise against, testosterone boosters and whatnot that leverage aromatase inhibition properties. You're literally inhibiting your pump if you're inhibiting estrogen. So I'm not really sure why, dude? I don't get it. This is like a fucking 2-in-1 product. Like, this is not, you could have use this, whatever you spent on this and put more into this shit, That's what I'm thinking off the bat. For extreme performance and endurance, and it's like not adding anything to the formula at all. For a pump, like it's actually potentially hindering it. For extreme performance and endurance, add pump formula to your favorite pre-workout drink. Caffeine-free, citrulline malate, glycerol, monostearate, mucuna pruriens, dim. Fucking weird, man. This is very odd off the bat. Like, we'll get into the dosages, but I just want to see what other claims there are. Literally feel your muscles working each rep in every set with Titan Series pump formula, citrulline malate, and glycerol work together to increase NO production, help increase blood flow for mind-blowing sleeve tearing muscle pump. Citrulline malate, a popular vasodilator, can help fuel your muscles with more oxygen and nutrients by increasing blood flow during your workouts. Lean muscle building, mucuna pruriens, and DIM support natural hormone levels, which may help stimulate muscle growth and increase lean muscle mass. All right, so 30 servings per one scoop. We have 3 grams of citrulline malate, 1-to-1 ratio, notably, not 2-to-1. Glycerol as monostearate, anti-estrogenic blend proprietary, 1 gram, 1.01 grams of velvet bean extract, mucuna pruriens, calcium D-glucarate, and DIM. Damn, dude, like, where do I start? But let's go over the anti-estrogenic blend first, just because it's really fucking weird and it's not even really relevant to the actual pump, which is what this product is mainly for. So velvet bean extract, we're looking at essentially a dopamine precursor. This is something that can help inhibit prolactin secretion. It is something that may help with your mood. may help regulate, a state of well-being essentially, but it's not going to do anything. Like maybe it boosts testosterone a little bit but from what I recall, it's kind of paradoxical in that it may actually reduce follicle stimulating hormone too. So again, some of these things, they operate through feedback loops that I'm not necessarily like super on board with chronically fucking with. Anything to do with your HPTA, anything to do with endogenous steroidogenesis cascades, anything to do with, that self-regulatory feedback loop that, determines how much you pulse out of your, how much GnRH you pulse out subsequent to, LH and FSH from the pituitary to your Leydig cells in your testes in general. Like, I don't think chronically smashing yourself with more like dopamine is the answer to like boost your, like, I guess transiently, and I guess it kind of depends on the context, but I mean, like, where is the anti-estrogenic component of this? Is it just by increasing your test level? Subsequent to that, you're going to get a parallel amount of aromatization. So if anything, if this would be on paper, increase your estrogen a little bit maybe. I don't know, like mainly you would be using velvet bean for the like L-Dopa component. You would not be using it as an anti-estrogen, So I don't really get why this is like the main, like this is 1.01 grams. So we have 1,001 milligrams here. And you have to keep in mind, this is broken down in descending order of concentrations. That means the highest dose ingredient in this blend is velvet bean. We don't know how much is actually in here. This could be fucking 999 milligrams. This could be fucking, I don't know, 550. Like, who knows? Like, I don't fucking know. We're just guessing. So anyways, I don't know. Like, even if I was making an anti-estrogenic formula in general, like, I don't know if this would be one of the main go-tos personally, but I don't understand this here personally. Calcium D-glucarate and DIM, I do, like as a natty way of modulating estrogen metabolism, and it can be useful and almost could be like a first thing to reach for when it comes to modulating estrogen conversion in the body that is not aromatase inhibiting. Everyone's, first go-to is let's go look at the aromatase, the aromasin, the arimidex, the letro. If you are using a reasonable amount of shit or you're just, super fucking high estrogen to begin with from, a natural baseline, which, you shouldn't be if you have naturally regulated processes. But again, everyone's genetics differ, obviously. Something like calcium D-glucarate and DIM might be useful to look at. In a pre-workout context, though, are they really adding anything? If anything, I would argue they're inhibiting vasodilation to some extent by modulating estrogen metabolization. Like, I guess hypothetically, you could argue they're not actually inhibiting the creation of estrogen, so maybe they're not. But I don't see how they're, I don't see the argument for it helping. I could see the argument against it hindering it, but I can't really see the argument for this helping pump in any significant way whatsoever that would justify putting this in a pre-workout when you could otherwise have yanked this whole fucking prop blend and put in more L-Citrulline and glycerol. Like, this product would be better off without this shit and just pushing the L-Citrulline malate up to 6 grams and the glycerol up to 4 or 5 or something. And now we're getting into the pump blend. So we have L-Citrulline malate 1-to-1 ratio instead of 2-to-1, which is notable because the 2-to-1 ratio is actually a more favorable ratio. So not only is it citrulline malate, but we're using the same equivalent ratio of L-citrulline free form relative to malic acid. So you're getting even less malic acid per unit milligram. So this 3 grams is really 1,500 of citrulline and 1,500 malic acid. Whereas if this was a 2-to-1 ratio, like most companies are using, you would have 2 grams of L-citrulline and 1 gram of malic acid, which would be more favorable, but again, still sub-efficacious as fuck, unfortunately. So L-citrulline malate, the efficacious dose would be 6 grams to get the bare minimum. That would be 4 grams of freeform L-citrulline, 2 grams malic acid. For this, L-citrulline malate 1-to-1, you would be looking at needing 8 grams just to get the bare minimum equivalent efficacy outcome as you would with a standard 2-to-1 ratio. So for this is less than almost 1/3 of the efficacious, minimum efficacious dose. So not going to be much pump going on from this unless you triple scoop it, to be honest. Glycerol as glycerol monostearate, 2 grams. So as far as glycerol, it's kind of interesting because this is an ingredient that it's more of like an endurance ingredient. It's more useful for hyperhydration, super saturating your muscle in the gym though. It's like a bit of a novelty, to be honest. Like, it's not that necessary when you're working out for 45 minutes to 60 minutes. It can give you a stupid pump and that's great. But for actual like performance outcomes and enhancing, some sort of metric of performance, it's not that, it's more of like a fun thing than anything. Sure, it's, somewhat useful, but it's more for, endurance athletes. And again, when you look at the actual dosage breakdown for an endurance athlete, it's like fucking astronomical what it is. And that's why our glycerol product, I like actually designed a specific formula based on endurance athletes on the recommended dosage section. But for pre-workouts, you're limited with how much space you can use too, because it's like you have a certain scoop, and however big you want to make this scoop, like how can you get it to a size that's going to fit in like the endurance athlete dose? Not necessarily. You can get in a dose that's going to give you, some pump in the gym though. But when you're using monostearate, you're kind of limited to your mixability, and you're confining your dosages a bit to a point where if anything over a reasonable dose is going to be clumpy and shitty to mix. If you've ever used the 10-gram dose of pure glycerol that we sell, you'll know how gritty that shit is. There's a reason why we use Glycer Pump in our actual pre-workouts. It's because that stuff is not gritty. But again, Glycer Pump on its own, this is an ingredient that's like fucking cost prohibitive as hell. Like, this is not an ingredient you can necessarily sell at uber high quantities. It's something you have to hit at like just an efficacious amount to provide extra intracellular hyperhydration in the gym, but not enough to fuck up the actual viscosity of the powder and cause clumping and be problematic, or delegate you to having to make a pre-workout that's like this fucking big in like a protein jug just to get your max dose of glycerol in it. That's why we sell the glycerol separately. And then we have a reasonable enough dose that doesn't overload the fuck out of our pre-workout in nitric and mode. But for this, is 2 grams good? Like I would rather see it at like 3+ personally. But again, in an endurance athlete, that's like fucking pennies at the end of the day. For a guy in the gym, are you gonna notice the difference? Maybe a little bit, but I mean, monostearate is not really the ideal form when it's mixed with other shit. On its own, you're able to, manipulate your doses and kind of get away with having a bit more of a disaster of a clumpy mess, I guess. But when you're like using other ingredients compounded with it, you don't really want to be put in a position where your entire pre-workout can get destroyed in storage, or it can get fucked with and some like make the viscosity like unbearable, it's so gritty or whatever that you just hate drinking it. And with monostearate, it's very difficult to achieve, a mixability that is seen as tolerable when you could use a more refined version like a Glycer Pump, or like there's other companies out there, like I think there's like Hydro Prime too, which is good. This is like the grittier form that is quite problematic to be mixing with other ingredients in an actual pump formula, like concurrently as opposed to separately on its own. So 2-gram dose isn't like the fucking worst thing in the world, but I would have rather seen like a, more refined variant of this to ensure it's going to work well with the other ingredients. Now, is it still going to work? Yeah, it's just going to be, more unpleasant to drink with your other ingredients, unfortunately. So anyways, these doses, like I would rather see, like the L-Citrulline malate needs to be at least 8 grams, in my opinion. Glycerol, 3 grams plus I would like to see per serving personally. But like, especially if that's the only ingredients in this product, like you're really leaning on only 2 vectors to really provide any performance metric boost. We're looking at nitric oxide precursor, which like it is a good fucking ingredient if you have a decent enough dose. And then you have the intramuscular hyperhydration component through the glycerol. But again, are these even like filling the void of the vectors that need to be, pushed up to some minimum threshold level to achieve some sort of performance increases? Not quite, unfortunately. You would definitely need to be double scooping this, borderline triple scooping to get, what you really want to get out of it. You can get away with a double scoop probably, but I mean, the L-citrulline malate is still sub-efficacious at that point. And then you're probably getting into territory of how much mucuna is fucking in here, and can you push your dose that high to begin with? Like I remember when I was first making Gorilla Mind Rush back in the day, and I was experimenting with like a mega dose of Velvet Bean, and I got fucking debilitated, dude. It was brutal. Like I actually have a very fond memory. Well, not fond necessarily, but the girl I was seeing at the time, a couple of my family members, basically we all got debilitated by this shit. Like when you take a super high dose of Velvet Bean, it can fucking bedridden you for like 8 hours. Like it's brutal shit. So at this dose, is it gonna do that? Probably not, at least given the math I can do here. But I mean, when you start, going into double scoop territory, triple scoop territory, like I don't fucking know how much this is, dude. So I don't know. I would be aware and, wary of that if you're an individual who's using this product and wants to push the envelope and actually get the efficacious dose of L-Citrulline, malate, and glycerol. But yeah, for $33.99, do I think this is a good deal? Not really, to be honest. This kind of reminds me of if I was going to walk into a fucking Walmart and be like, where's, the 6-star fucking, like cookie cutter fucking pre-workout. Like maybe 6 stars even better, bro. Like maybe I should go look at that. So I don't know. I would be surprised if this guy like reviewed it and actually approved these dosages. Like I can't imagine somebody would want a pre-workout with this in there and be happy using it on a daily basis. I'd be shocked if he actually used this shit himself, Or like if he does, he's probably fucking triple quad scooping it even, Like I can't imagine anybody would be like, this is the dose I wanted in my product to get, max pumps. Like, I don't know, man. So anyways, that is my review on it. I think it's funny how we had a natty juice flavor that's, pretty creative. Cotton candy sounds good too. I don't know, packaging looks good. The price isn't exorbitant given the like proportional lack of ingredients. But again, like this is pretty much nothing. Like this pre-workout, in my opinion, should cost like $20. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. All the comments help the algorithm. They're much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe. Check out my blog, moreplacemoredates.com. Follow me on Instagram, @moreplacemoredates. Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Podcasts. If you want to support the channel, you can check out anything I'm associated with in the video description below. My TRT clinic. It's all telemedicine from the comfort of your own home. I recommend lab tests and diagnostics through my clinic. Gorilla Mind, nootropic formulas, Gorilla Mode, efficaciously dosed pre-workout formulas and design myself from scratch. Anything else I'm associated with, the clothing that I wear in my videos and other shit that helps support the channel, it is all in the video description below. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.